Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite Written Writ Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, The Written Writ, a show where you and I and you get creative, have fun, and geek out. Today we have a cataclysm of people joining us, and we're about to have some major fun geeking out and finding out what these people are up to. And it looks great, folks, and I can't wait till you see all the beautiful stuff they have planned. And I hear they might premiere something for you fans out there.
Cool.
Paul, I hear you've been busy. You've been a busy bee.
Wow, it's been crazy, man. I love it. I mean, of course, we're stepping up to Garden State next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. So that's really cool. And, trying to pull together all the cool TE swag that I got for that. And we'll be offering a bunch of that. We'll have a contest at the booth. You'll be able to see Amelia Earhart and Professor C.T. Haugens appear there as well. So it's going to be a blast. I love Garden State Comic Fest. It's got to be one of the biggest cons I attended aside from New York City Comic Con. And it's just really a great experience. A lot of indie artists, a lot of vendors. It's really cool.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Definitely. We love Garden State Comic Fest. It's always a blast. Of course, is in Cody Arena this year in New Jersey. And I got to say, I like it in Cody Arena because I can actually just take mass transit to get there.
Yeah, it's really easy to get to by train, and they have a shuttle that comes from the station, so much easier than Morristown in a lot of ways. And it's a nicer venue too. It's newer, and it's got air conditioning, so it's a great place. It's wide. I mean, the aisles are wide too, so you don't have to worry about bumping into a lot of people if it gets crowded. It's a really good event.
I always like when it's hot because it's a hockey rink. It's so cold and
That's true. It could be hot next week, and you'll never know. We'll see. It's New Jersey, so.
Yep, New Jersey. JJ's asking, New Jersey, right? I'm like, yep, New Jersey.
Yep.
Yeah, folks, if you get a chance, head out to New Jersey. Check out Garden State Comic Fest. It is in the Cody Arena. Easy to get to. It is an amazing experience. A lot of cosplay, a lot of comics, video games. It has everything for everybody. It's one of those cons that is actually a con for everybody. And with that, we'll jump right into this because, I'm excited, Paul. I got to tell you, these guys have done some great stuff. I'm impressed by all the things they've put together. And I want everybody to hear about what they've been up to. So who is going to step forward and give us the spiel?
Hi. My name is Caden Walls. I'm co-founder and co-owner of Cataclysm Comics. I have co-written one book that we've actually released and has physical copies dropping soon, called Black Gravity. And with that, we essentially have a love for making indie comic books and getting them to be well recognized among, a lot of other popular books. We really want to go to the next level, and the other people who are in here are some awesome members of the team.
I gotta say, right away, the covers really stood out when I was checking out all the covers when you guys sent me all the information. I was like, these are beautiful covers.
Oh, thank you. With Black Gravity, it's actually a homage to what the character is based off of. I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. So Green Lantern Far Sector, it's a homage to that cover, which I really love that cover that they released for it. So, what a better way to really get the feel of the cosmic world of Black Gravity is with a Green Lantern cover.
I agree. It does show it off really well, and it looks beautiful, as you guys can see right there. And dude, this website, I gotta say, like I've seen some guys who have been doing this for a while, and their website does not look this pretty.
That's also a me thing. As you can see, I'm mainly a designer on the team. As well, of course, being co-founder and co-owner of the company. I'm more of the graphic design person.
You're doing a good job. But I can see that you guys work as a team because you guys keep saying it as a team, which is important because we've also seen a lot of people come on, and you sit there and you go, "Oh, this is a team."
Yeah, something we've spent a lot of time trying to properly develop is how to work as a team. And so like we always tell people that our staff, it runs more like a professional group chat than it is a bunch of like stingy stuff. We spend a lot of time trying to make sure that not only is everybody doing work and like producing content, but that everybody feels like they have someone to talk to about their content and like share, because first and foremost we're all friends in a business together, and so that's a very important part, is working together as a team.
And it is. We talk about this a lot here on the show, especially when you're making comics. When you're doing anything, you need to make sure that the people you're working with work well with you. It's one of those things you need to look out at. And I know I when I was starting off early on in the comics, I thought you would just pick an artist and do a project. But sometimes what you need to do is figure out if the artist is good for the project before you even decide to bring in the artist. And that's me talking as a writer.
And that's actually very true. We always we don't just get any artists. We usually like test it out, test if they can get the vibe of what our team is. I mean, Caden here has already described it as a professional group chat. Like we essentially there's an air of professionalism, but we do joke around with each other. We are very friendly with each other. It's a very business casual kind of staff that we have, and we love our staff so much.
Yeah, we could not accomplish as much as we do in the time span that we do without all of the wonderful people who have really helped us get to where we are going.
Which is important. We have the same type of atmosphere here in Bitten Apple, and we've been doing this for 10 years, so I feel like we're doing something right. So how did it start? Because this already sounds like you should get into what the secret origin of Cataclysm Comics is.
Okay, so Morgan and I, we've mentioned it a couple times. We started this together. Originally, we were more interested in making. Are you familiar with the term machinima?
Yeah.
We were interested in making machinimas about our stories, because we were both very ambitious towards like wanting to do amateur filmmaking
Right.
Through the machinima space, and it was something we both followed very closely. But feeling limited by some people in the community, but also the abilities that we actually were able to use for our content, and the fact that Morgan and I's friendship was very much developed on our love for superheroes already.
Right.
We were like, why don't we just
Uh-oh.
make a comic book, which is famous last words.
It is. That is an amazing thing, and that decision is never something that is as simple as it sounds.
Absolutely. It's like, and Morgan and I, it took us a minute before we were able to actually, plant our feet in the space, because just for context, we've been trying to get to where we are now for almost 5 years now. And the both of us are we're both young. So like it's 5 years, definitely well spent. But like we spent a lot of time trying to get to the level where we could produce work.
Right.
And really in the last year and a half has been that point where we finally figured out how to make things work properly. Where we figured out where we stand in the space, proper networking. Because like we were saying earlier, it's never as simple as it sounds. If it was all just make the story you love, there'd be a lot more people who do it.
Yeah.
But
that actually can destroy people, because like you're saying, it's more difficult than it is, and a lot of people will let that eat them alive.
Oh, absolutely. And like we've watched it happen, because like, so whenever we left the like machinima space, there was a lot of people who were like, we want to do this too. Like there was a lot of people who were like, this inspires us. And I can't think of any of them that have actually stuck with it as long as we have, that we've known in that space, because it's not easy. Like, no shame to those people for not
Exactly. Yeah.
being able to do it, but it's not easy. So yeah, a lot of this just comes down to Morgan and I's love for comic books already. We're both huge comic book fans,
Especially
um,
DC.
especially DC, and wanting to, also having problems with the comic book industry. That was one of the core things that we started with as comic book fans, was going, okay, we feel like industry level comic books have become action figures just getting slammed together, at least 90% of the time. And as someone, my favorite comic book of all time is like The Watchmen. So it's like I love themed medium. Um, if you can like find a pinpoint theme in the story you're telling. And so we wanted to kind of revitalize that air within the space by like through Cataclysm Comics. And so, through a bunch of different iterations, a bunch of different names, a bunch of different logos, here we are.
Which is important because yeah, a lot of people don't understand that it's actually a journey, and you're explaining it really well right now, because it is a journey, and the whole thing is to stick on that journey, because it's gonna try to force you to get off your journey, and that's when you don't go to where you're supposed to go, because you didn't stick with it.
Absolutely.
I gotta say, I'm impressed. You guys have a solid team going. All this stuff looks really good.
Yeah, no,
I've seen the covers that you have, and they all look really good.
we really
And
strive to have art, like really good art.
mhm,
Not saying like other indie companies don't have like good art, but like we're very artist in front, very
right,
artist in mind company. We actually like our sort of marketing is geared towards artists as well. We're really trying to get that artist market theming wise.
And I think a lot of it comes down to, like, we've spent a lot of time, um we've taken a lot of time to make sure that anyone who is on our team is someone that we can tell wants it, because a lot of people want it, but there's a difference between wanting it and having the capability to take it,
yeah,
and having the capability to actually put that foot forward. People who we can see go, okay, um people are willing to put that 5 years into it, like. And
yeah,
so it's those people that we see, that we go, we want them on the team. So we have some incredible people on the team, such as Plasma, who is in here right now, such as Morgan, who did all of the art for Black Gravity and has done all of the art for Black Gravity issue 2, which comes out extremely soon. Plasma, who did all of like 80 pages of the upcoming Voltage one shot. We have LH Arts and Works is another person that we work with, who has done incredible cover art and is working on their own project, Terra Nova. And these are people who are not just going, I want to make something, but I will make something. And I mean, the way we actually ended up here is through one of the people on our team. JJ, who's in the chat, is an incredible member of the Cataclysm team and has done amazing things for our marketing, for being able to get us out there, and is an incredible storyteller and artist. And it's like, we could not do what we do as comfortably as we do it without this amazing team that we have like handpicked for people who really want this.
and I can tell you exactly. That's exactly it, because one of the things that I do when I go into the conventions to see who we're going to cover, who we're going to talk to, is I look for what you're talking about. I look for that passion. You want to see that passion, because it's easier to sell somebody's project if they already have the passion.
Absolutely.
So Plasma, how do you come into this?
Hi for everyone in the chat who does know me. As I can see, everyone's very excited. I'm Mike. I go by Plasma Giant Art. I have been working on Voltage for a very, very long time. It's kind of been something that's been with me since I was old enough to hold a pencil. if I kind of think of it like that. But where I came into this is I've been thinking about beginning my journey of making comic books, especially a Voltage mainline series. And I had this idea in 2024 to begin a one-shot. This one-shot is intended to be a good platter for newcomers and fans to get a gist of Voltage and the character and the style and the kind of action I'm going for. And so I was working 2 jobs at the time, and I spent every bit of free time that I had working out this one-shot comic book that quickly and exponentially grew to an 80-page giant. And I learned a lot over it. Most importantly, I learned that I could do it, that it's feasible if you break it down and you get your process together, that you can achieve something even dauntingly big like that.
Right.
And after I had finished, I kind of sat on it for a while because it kind of felt like running a marathon and then sitting down and taking a breath. So I was kind of going back and forth between who I'd want to publish it. And I already knew Morgan and Caden. And after a lot of talking back and forth, I realized that they are the people that I want to work with this. They understand me and I understand them on a philosophical level of a methodology,
Right.
Not just for how we make stuff, but in general, how we view the comic industry and what we want to see out of it. And they were very gracious and very excited to help me with that. And I deeply, deeply appreciate all of my friends at Cataclysm Comics for making something that I could have just published on my own. I could have just uploaded it somewhere, but thanks to Cataclysm, I can make it more tangible. I can put it out in front of more people. I can have a community behind it, and hopefully have physical copies, which is the dream. Holding it in my hands would be absolutely amazing.
You know, that's what we all strive for, is to make sure
Yes.
that we can see the physical manifestation of the passion that we're trying to pour into things. And you're doing great, because you know, one of the best things, one of the hardest things is finding a good group of people or a good team that will help you accomplish that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so I just want to, because I know Plasma won't say it. Plasma took a huge risk on us, like specific, like, and did a lot for like accepting coming to us, because Plasma here has a really like a relatively large platform over in the Twitter indie superhero space.
Right.
A lot of people who are very interested in what Plasma's doing already. And so we found Plasma alongside, you know, the other 1,000+ people who are active in his community. And so we were not the only people to go, we see something in your work. And we're not a huge community or a huge, you know, publishing giant or anything like that. And it's going to take time for us to be. But Plasma took such a shot on us for taking a shot on him. I'm just incredibly thankful that he showed interest in working with us, because getting Plasma on the team is one of the most impressive things that we have managed to be able to do, because this guy's art, this guy's storytelling and his art, when I tell you it's incredible, it's beyond anything I've ever seen in this space. This guy's going places, and we definitely want to go places with him.
I think it's in Caden's best interest to be hyping me up like this, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. Before I get going on any more communication here, I do want, since my account is up, I did want to take the time to shout out to other creators that I love very dearly, whose art is featured on there, the banner. Nightman Productions, and Corday Krim, both on Twitter, and I deeply, deeply appreciate not just them, but anyone who makes fan art. Like the way that Caden speaks about me is something that I've still not necessarily gotten used to. I do acknowledge that I have a bigger platform than I expected, because I'm not in this for clout and I'm not in this for fame or anything. I'm in this strictly for the work. I love putting in the work. I love comic books. I love other people's work. And I really like to think that no matter how big my reach gets, I want to keep that kind of mentality going into that. Because if I could use my platform for anything, is to show someone who might be looking at my work that this can be you. That the only one standing in front of you achieving your dream of making a comic book is yourself, and you can start it.
Yeah. You know, we say that a lot here on Bit and Apple TV because a lot of people will ask me questions about writing and starting things, and I'm like, dude, just do it. After you do it, you can critique it and figure out how to improve it.
Yeah, no, that's why me and Caden were at first. I mean, realistically, anyone would be hesitant to start this kind of thing, but
Mm-hmm.
we that's why it took 5 years to do it, because in about, I want to say, like a year or two of doing this, I did have a rough draft of what Black Gravity would be, but it just didn't turn out how I wanted it to be.
Right.
And then I was like, okay, maybe let's start over. Maybe let's rewrite this. Black Gravity, the script that was released as a comic now, it's, I think, the fifth version of the Black Gravity story. I actually have something from, I think, 2020 or 2021, which is the Black Gravity pilot, when we were still trying to hold on to that, doing that like filmmaking thing on my channel, on my
Right.
personal channel. I think I privated that. I'm not sure. I mean, it's probably still out there. I don't know. But yeah, we, even with filmmaking, we both, Kate and I, were just like, just go do it. You just got to go do it, and no one's gonna make the thing for you.
For
Agreed.
sure.
Because it's so funny to me because I don't understand why like I get it now. I actually get it because it's kind of hard to start something. But at the same time, if you don't start it, then you don't know what you're doing wrong. You don't know what you're doing right either.
I had someone who is a really big inspiration to the work that I do, that I share everything with, one of my teachers from school. Um, they were my teacher in a film class, and they said something that sticks with me through any medium that I work in, and it was essentially along the lines of the difference between someone who makes television and someone who makes television is one of them actually makes it.
Exactly.
And that's something that I apply to a lot of, because it's like everybody everybody has an idea, everybody has something that they want to do,
Right.
and there's so much value in just taking that step forward and doing it, because there's nothing more respectable than taking that step.
Agreed. And it's scary, and you got to get out of your comfort zone to do it. But until you do it, you don't know what you need to do, which is what the important thing is. You need to figure out what you need to do in order to move forward. You can't move forward without moving forward.
Most definitely. I like with my art, one of the biggest things, the wrong with the original version of the Black Gravity script, or well, comic, was more so the art. I didn't really like how the art was turning out.
Right.
So since then, I've been training myself. I draw every day just in a sketchbook. And that's, as you see from a profile picture, my other artwork, and even the comic, that you see that my art is like definitely improved from something like, I don't know, from like last year. My art keeps evolving.
And that's how it should be. And I like telling artists, because I know a lot of people don't do it. I like telling artists when I can see improvement in their art. Because what ends up happening is most of the times people will tell an artist if it sucks, um, They will never say like, "Oh my God, you've improved so much," which any artist needs to hear, because it shows that you're moving forward in a good direction.
Definitely.
Yeah, folks, tell your artists they're doing good. Come on.
Yeah, definitely. We love to hear it. When it came to the one shot, I'd like, because so people will message me. I have lots of friends who are in the process of making their books or having ideas of plans, as they say, to make the comic. I feel like there's a lot that does get in the way, because you come into these projects, especially with a lot of expectations about what you want the book to be and what you want people to observe the book to be, and also in some ways yourself as a creator. Especially with like social media kind of allowing a certain kind of consumption, especially with this particular industry and medium. I feel like it's not about how you draw. It's not about how you write. And it's not even about how you come into the comic sphere and like what your story and concept is. It's about making yourself be hungry enough to do it, and leaving all the pretense at the door for when you start. And my advice to anyone out there watching this, either live or recorded after the fact, is when you want to get yourself in the right headspace, you have to trick your brain into making it not seem like the most important thing on earth. The work should not be more important than the making of the work, if that makes sense. Which is why my inspiration for the creation of the one shot in the way that I did it is I love when mangaka and other like very, very indie creators make one shots, something that is of dubious canon, potentially that could be decanonized later, not mainline.
Right.
Because people start with a number one, usually, when they have an idea and they go, I want to make my character issue number one. And the thing is that with number one, especially if you've never made something before, there's a lot of expectations to do it right the first time around, because it's the foundation for everything moving forward.
Right.
But a one shot or a issue 0, if you want to call it that, it alleviates all of the pressure. You can just make a proof of concept, and it can be messy. It could be a little sloppily written. In fact, I don't know about you, I love when indie stuff is a little rough around the edges, especially early on.
That's why I love
I'm not the hugest fan, nothing but love to all of the big creators out there in the industry who, are working artists, and they have works in, the big two or in the upper indie spaces like Image Comics. When a new book in an indie book is a little too polished, it doesn't scratch my brain just the right way. I like seeing the hand that made it. I like when the inks are a little rough. I like when the colors are, that said, there's a little asterisk next to that. Get your lettering right. Yeah. Lettering is the most important part of a comic book, in my opinion. It's so integral. It's the audio track to a movie. If you have a beautiful cinematography movie with terrible audio, it's going to be unpalatable to watch. And in that way, letters so important. But in general, like letting your shoulders relax and just having fun with it, do a proof of concept. It's a good way to gauge how people might react to it. And I also think it's okay if you realize that comics themselves isn't exactly what you'd want to do, because it is a lot of work. You got to be hungry to do it.
I agree.
And that's why I adore Caden and Morgan and Liz and JJ and all the creators at Cataclysm, and all of my other friends at I was going to say Prodigy Comics. Also, I'm shouting them out too. Big friends of mine and the rest of us. They are passionate creators. They have a hunger to create. They have a hunger to create and make stuff for people to read and to see the positive change that that they want to see for the industry. And again, it's all the pretense. I'm not going to name names, but I feel like there is a lot of people in the indie space that come at it through, I want to get into film. I want to, God forbid, get involved in the culture war in some way. Bad news right there. Don't ever make comics to try and push something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you should be doing it for the work, for yourself. It should be something you want people to see. It should be a story you stand behind. And always be earnest. Always let your passion show, even if it's a little messy. And I will support your book 100%.
Completely agree with you. You know, and you're right. What ends up happening is, but you know, everybody has the right to be in comics or in indie for the reason they want to be in it. But it does change what you are creating when you're in it for a different reason, or a reason like you want to make money.
Right. And I feel like the audience can tell, the readers can tell when you're doing it for clout or for money, or you're trying to grow into a more, quote, like respected media space like film or television or anything like that. I think the readers can tell, even if they can't articulate it. I think they can pick up on how earnest you as a creator are being. And that's why I love micro indie books, as I call them. Like, I love people on Twitter with $300-400 like followers, 10 followers. Those people are doing it for the passion. They're doing it for the love of the game. I am addicted to that. So everyone out there that does that, love you for that.
I hate to tell people this, but like if you're in it for the money, this is the wrong thing to do for a while.
Right. Psychotic even to believe that.
At least JJ admits I do stuff for money, but I make it funny. Oh my god! So why don't we stop teasing them and show them the special little thing that you guys have
Absolutely. So for everybody who in here who is interested, JJ in the chat spent a lot of time making a official trailer for the upcoming Voltage one shot. And technically it drops with the Kickstarter tomorrow, but you guys who are on here are going to get to see the first peek at the Voltage one shot, which means I need everyone to remain calm.
Yeah, gotta calm down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, he brushed past it. The Kickstarter is tomorrow, so please keep your eyes open for that.
Yeah. Keep your pockets full.
Keep your pockets full. Yeah.
But yeah, let's do it, guys.
I agree. Let's get this going. All right. I think you need to back it up a little bit. At least that's what it looks like from over here.
It is completely ready to go.
All
on
right,
my
good.
end.
I'm probably getting a lag thing over here. Let's put it.
It was doing that for me. Yep.
There it goes.
I gotcha, freak.
My name is Sal Vasquez. I am 29 years old, and for reasons I don't know, I've been gifted with incredible powers. Powers that make me like the fictional heroes I've looked up to my whole life. They inspired me to want to do good, so I will do good. I am a superhero. I am Voltage!
I didn't know you could do that.
Me neither.
I gotta say, I love the me neither.
Okay, I need a Kickstarter link. Let's go. Come on.
That is a great video for your Kickstarter. I gotta say, we see a lot of videos here for Kickstarters, and yeah, that looks fantastic.
Great job.
And it
It looks
half
awesome.
half of it comes. So just to give credit where credit's due, half of this is due to JJ in the chat being incredible. And the other half of it is due to the incredible artwork in this book. I mean, seriously, like it looks so good.
I'm so excited to show it off. Like, I think I'm so proud of this book.
I can
I
see
even do
why
it.
it looks amazing.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm smiling ear to ear. You can't see it, but I am blushing. Thank you. It's nice to see also it in motion, because that was something that I prioritized very early on, was very strong composition and thumbnailing and movement of characters, and what Caden's saying, like making it kind of easy almost to create a visual representation in motion of the characters and how they punch and how they move. I am very proud of how the book looks and how I executed at all levels for it. So I am very, very happy, and I'm very proud to show it off to people, and I can't wait to see people react to it and get their hands on it. I know I am. I'm very excited to get my hands on it.
I gotta say, I love the fact that you're actually making a superhero book. Because these days there are very few superhero books. If you understand what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you mean, and that's really funny that my character by nature has a uniqueness to him, because we may or may not get into this later. I'm not sure what questions you have, but there's I wouldn't call Voltage in general a deconstruction or even a reconstruction of superhero stuff. It's very much a superhero story that dips into those two kind of ideas, but more through a exploration of characters. And I'm a big fan of interpersonal character work and the way that they react to situations. And I come at this at a high concept setup with a very low concept and specific character interaction relationship that I enjoy out of comic books.
I gotta say, from what you were saying before, I can see that you're doing exactly what you're saying. The story seems to be this hero's story, and then we might throw some stuff in there, but basically we're doing the story. We're not making this about the stuff. It's more about the story, which is very important, because these days everybody wants to do it about the stuff.
Right. When you make especially a specific genre piece like Cape Comics, there's like how do I put this? There's a lack of restraint.
Yeah.
For playing with the action figures.
Mm-hmm.
When you make a comic book, a lot of it is you're engaging with the medium in a shallowish way, I would say.
Right.
Again, not naming any particular books that does this, but there's a mentality too when it comes to the simplification of Cape media. I personally love Cape fiction because it's a blending of genres and an exploration of characters within a setup that by nature puts these characters in situations. I love comic books when they have sci-fi, or when they have fantasy elements or horror elements, or when they blend genres together. And I think a lot of comics that are based on Cape Comics now that have superhero characters is self-referential to superhero fiction,
right?
Where it's a little recursive in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with wanting that or writing that, and they are very successful and people do love them. That's not what I was interested in going into this. I'm trying to make something that feels iconic, something that feels very natural, something that naturally plays with the archetypal nature of comic books involving superheroes. without a level of shame, without a level of needing to justify its existence by deconstructing it in a mean-spirited way,
Right.
or in a way that feels like you're trying to justify its existence. Because I have a deep love for cape characters. I love the big two, obviously. The industry is the way that it is, but I love the characters of DC Comics, of the character of Marvel Comics.
Well, you can see it from all of you guys that you actually have a love for it. Where even though we're talking a certain way, it doesn't mean that we hate the stuff.
Personally, if I was to make an observation, I think a bad mentality when you're a micro creator that's trying to make cape comics is having a level of reverence for popular intellectual characters in a way that you feel you are below them, and you have to either, again, justify being in conversation with them or put them before you. I make Voltage like he's being published by DC Comics in a way that doesn't feel like you're so nervous about going up the bat with Batman or Superman or Spider-Man, because yes, the industry is by nature competitive, and they are your competition, but you can use that to your advantage, especially when you're making stuff that doesn't have the expectation of it being a giant thing. You can tap into the reader's imaginations and things that they know and archetypes, and you can twist all of that around to make something new that will make something iconic. And Ernest, again, I am not the biggest fan of comics that feel embarrassed to be about the comic, and instead feels like it needs to justify itself in some other way.
Right.
If Cataclysm, as with our goals of publishing, is anything, we are not afraid to be making superhero comics. We have we have such a love for superheroes in a world where I feel like people conceptually love superheroes, or they spend so much time just hating superheroes, but they still want to make superhero content. And I'm just like, why are you doing this to yourself? One of the core pieces of why we do what we do is because, so I mentioned earlier this, we can't stand this just action figures slamming into each other, but the other half of that is I can't stand this we're gonna deconstruct what it means to be a suit. I'm tired of these Garth Ennis brainchilds. These people spending so much time trying to be Mark Millar that it burns through the content that they're making. In a really, just personally as a reader, I can't stand reading it. I love.
You call it intellectual in a juvenile way, where you're kind of taking these things that you feel are juvenile, and you see lots of creators, especially over the last 20, 30 years, that have done proper deconstructions of the genre and characters and all these things. But because you're not coming at it from an actual idea, you're just... Your idea is, I want to do Watchmen again. I want to do The Boys again. I want to do Invincible again. That's not exactly an idea, and you have to actually have something to say. Because, say what you will about any of those creators or any of those books, they had an idea and what they wanted to say. So, in general, this is not just a comic thing. This is anyone making anything. Please have an idea and stick with it. Be confident in what you're saying.
They're all trying to be Alan Moore, but Alan Moore was making fun of the industry.
Yes, and also Alan Moore and Garth Ennis as well. They had relationships with their experience in the industry that is personal.
Yep.
And I can tell when you're making something because you are appropriating someone's personal anger towards the industry and how they were treated as your own when you didn't experience it.
I agree.
Yeah.
but that you can see as you read Watchmen, you can tell that Alan Moore is making a statement.
Yeah.
And you can tell Alan Moore used to love superheroes.
Oh,
like
definitely.
you can
You can
tell,
tell Alan Moore still loves superheroes.
Yeah.
you can see what exactly made Alan Moore bitter
Oh,
and
yeah.
reasonably so, as opposed to I want to make a deconstruction, but it's not deconstructing anything. One of the things because one of the things I love to ask people a lot is like, what inspired you? Like what is the basis of why you do what you do, right? And there's a couple things that I don't understand how it can be your inspiration. Like if there's a lot of people, I'll be like, okay, you want to make a superhero story, and that's wonderful. I love superheroes. But whenever I ask you what your inspirations are and you tell me it's Invincible, I love Invincible as much as the next guy, but Invincible is just its inspirations. It is
Yeah.
like, to its point, it is made to be a compilation of other inspirations. You can't make a good quality story on the basis of being inspired by something that its entire point is being inspired by something.
I am going to do something that majority of people working, well, not people working there, but the big two itself, the position they take. I'm encouraging you to read comic books, to actually read things, to actually watch things, to be inspired by things instead of taking on, taking inside these works that are referential to things. And that's not invalidating at all these pieces of work. If you are a huge fan of Invincible, that is a perfectly great comic book that is very much built on the backs of things that it's referencing by nature. If you want to be inspired by Invincible, I encourage you to look into what inspired its creation and to read that. And you will most likely find yourself imagining or conceptualizing a new idea that is in conversation with the thing you like, that isn't recursively taking that thing that you like and doing it again.
Yeah. Because even if you're inspired by something, you don't have to do the same thing over again.
No, it is easy to fall into that trap. It is.
Yeah, it is.
Like for me, I made the observation that I have not done fan art since 2021 or 22.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with people that make fan art. It's a very successful way to get fans and to show your love for stuff. I think it's a trap if you find yourself stuck in doing things or showing your love for other things. Because I'll tell you this, I love Spider-Man. I love when you draw Spider-Man. I love, Superman when you draw them, Batman. I love your thing equally.
Yeah.
And I know you yourself might not believe that, because you're like, how could someone love my character that I made on a napkin when I was 15 as much as Batman? People do, and I do.
It's so funny, though, that you're saying that, because those characters started off the same way.
Exactly.
When Batman started off, it wasn't Batman. It was these two guys. Let's do Batman, and then it was same thing with Superman. Let's do this guy. He leaps, and he wasn't even flying at the time. So you can see how things evolve.
If it'd be okay, I'd love to talk about what exactly, how we plan to publish.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I think it has something to do with how this is set up. If you could go back to the website, there's some good information and stuff to show off there too. But essentially, this started off as Morgan and I wanting to tell our stories, right? The reality of it is, whenever you have so many stories and so many ideas in your head, eventually you need a team, and you need just this world building that you do. And so we have Cataclysm through that. We've developed a team. But what happens whenever you have a team of 10 creators who, yes, they want to help with your project, yes, they want to they love your project, but these 10 creators have their own projects. Plasma has his own projects. And so a lot of the time we feel like in the industry there's a trap towards this, because there's this natural idea that, okay, if I do this work for them, maybe they'll show me support while I do this work for me.
Right.
And that's such a long time expectation. So something we wanted to do after just our first book for Good Faith, because we don't want to fall into that, is we set up an alternate publication. So in the same vein that DC has Vertigo, right, where they publish a lot of their more anthological, like darker, I would say, more thought-provoking pieces. We wanted to set up, so we have our Cataclysm mainline,
Right.
but then we have Cataclysm Elsewhere, which is our alternative publication where we publish the creators who have put time, work, and love into our stories and our community, and we give them the exact same attention that we would give Black Gravity,
Right.
or our character Dr. X. Because we, first and foremost, we just want to see indie creators thrive while we thrive. And so if you go towards the bottom of the website, it shows off some of our books that we have coming soon. It should be on the, I think you can click learn more with about our company.
No, I think it's the comics part. I think.
Sorry,
Your
I'm putting
excuse to look through this website, which is very, very well done.
So
There we go.
yeah, so I
So,
set
like,
up
this
that's
shows off-
the main one.
this shows off some of our characters. You know, we have Black Gravity, which has a finished book. We have Unstoppable Comet, which has a finished script and is in production. We have Dr. X, which is almost done. That's my baby. That's my brainchild. Dr. X is everything that I love in the world. It is my tribute to, noir comic books, like superhero cape shit, like... It's my love for, thought-provoking media. We have Terra Nova, which that's in our Elsewhere publication. So if you scroll down there, it will bring you to Cataclysm Elsewhere. Not every story needs to fit into the timeline. Not every world needs to either. And so this shows you exactly, if you click Take Me Elsewhere, it shows you these stories that we are loving and that we are showing support for, such as, Voltage, which is our newest one. Like, we've put so much, we want to give equal platform to these creators who are in this other space. And so right now we have Terra Nova, we have Voltage, we have another book that is in the production phase. It's pre-production that we picked up, which is called Enforce. So it's not on the website yet because it's pre-production, but we have script in development, and we are actually doing this. And I feel like this goes to show that we are not trying to fall into the same space as, Big Two, but we're also not just trying to be Image.
Right.
We don't want to
We're
just
not gonna be another Image.
And so that's why we have these. I like to refer to them as twin publications, because any platforming, any networking, any marketing, any love that we show, any podcast, anything, we show 100% the exact same love and community towards our Elsewhere books as we do our mainline books. And we always will, because we specifically scout out the talent that we want on our Elsewhere. So it's like, we get an amazing creator with us, so we want to show them off. And so I feel like that is how we differ from some of these other publications that are in development. We're just as much about ourselves as we are about our team.
That's
Going
very
back
cool.
to that, like, we're just very artist focused. We, like, as you see, like, our website shows up a lot of art. We're really trying to invoke that feeling that we're not trying to be Image, we're not trying to be the Big Two either. We're trying to be, like, very our own space, focused on art and creators.
I tell a lot of people, I get asked by a lot of people what makes us different from every other indie platform in the comic book space. And the only difference I can ever come up with is that we are not content to just being in conversation for work as good as any other indie projects. We want to essentially we want another indie boom such as the early 2000s that did spark Image.
Yep.
But we don't want it on the basis of being Image. We want it on the basis of Image got that because they were unlike anything else at the time.
Exactly.
And so we want to be unlike anything else at the time. And so with that, it is why I tell everybody in this room, it's why I will tell everybody on our platforms, anybody who listens, I will tell them we are going to be the most well-respected publication of this generation. We are the future of comic books, and that is why you should definitely donate all your money into our Kickstarters.
Exactly.
Do you see why I felt compelled? Because that's a pitch, man. That's a level
really
of
good
confidence that I love to hear. And what's really great is Caden's really good at kind of moving things along and setting me up for this. He's a great co-host. I think me and him should do a podcast or something.
I agree.
That's also
You
a
guys
kiss of
got
death
some
to
good
say that.
energy.
When it comes to Elsewhere is great because it makes me feel like I'm able to tell my own story. And the thing is, me and Morgan and Caden have all talked about this. There's a they're in conversation. Just because they do not share continuity, they do share a lot of connective tissue in like I began this this conversation with. Methodology, philosophy involving the industry, how we treat genres. They're all in conversation with each other, especially with Black Gravity. I would say that Voltage is very much in conversation. But also, shout out to Liz. Liz is still here, I believe, on YouTube, the YouTube comments. She's making Terra Nova, and Terra Nova being a hard genre blend that's very confidently moving into that blending of genres. That's very much what I love to see. Is people like having an idea and just swinging for the fences. And like I said, I love that from a lot of other people in this scene too. But Cataclysm, I feel like I really click with everybody here, and I'm very happy that I get to be a part of the family.
I gotta say, we're looking at this image right now, and I keep thinking this will be a great cover.
I had designed, that's actually the second or potentially third drawing I had ever did of Voltage in a modern sense.
Right.
Back in 2022, I had done that, and I did design it with the idea of it kind of being like a cover. So I think that it would be great. It would be great to recreate it with kind of what I know now, not change a lot of it, because it's very successful. I gotta say,
the reason I love it as a cover is because I like how simple it is and how detailed it is at the same time.
Thank you. That in general, I think that's
really,
along with that.
Really good at doing a lot of shadows. They like a lot of blocking. Plasma's just so good at that.
Yeah.
In this entire conversation, I'm just now realizing, have we showed you guys the official cover for Voltage issue 1? Because it's incredible. And
I don't think we've shown it to them yet.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Do we have that?
Here, just
Caden, pull that up, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of
while you're doing that, I'd like to shout out the frauds creators in chat, all my friends. I love all of you very deeply. Joe and Pointy, and all of you are my friends, and I'm so happy to have such a support group. And more than having just fans, which in and of itself is still crazy to me, because again, like I said, I didn't do this for any kind of clout or anything like that. I'd like to believe that everyone who enjoys my work is at least a friend of mine. And I do love you all very much. I should probably put that in the comic when it gets printed. A very big thank you. I have such I'm very humbled about that, and because again, Voltage has been something with me for a very long time, and it did go through a reinvention. Like I said, once around the time I started making these art pieces, the idea evolved a little bit, or a lot of bit, from when I was in high school when I came up with the concept.
As it should.
And now I definitely, I feel lucky. I feel very lucky because I kind of went about this in a risky way, in that I came up with the design, I came up with the powers, I came up with the villains first, and I didn't actually have an idea about what I wanted to use these characters for and what I wanted to say with them. And I was very thankful that around like 2022, when my account was beginning to grow and I wanted to shift focus back into this character, I realized I did have like a miraculous kind of epiphany of an idea that I'm very excited to move forward with and make more Voltage comics, the mainline story, which for anyone who will read the one shot, I am, even though I did design it from a standpoint of like not having hard continuity, I relaxed my shoulders a bit. There is nothing in it that necessarily breaks anything. And I did put a lot of teasers to things, that like ideas that I want to talk about in the future. So I'm very I think this is a very successful like one shot, and I'm very happy for people to read it. And I'm very happy that people just love Voltage. And
hey,
Voltage
Plasma
loves you, and so do I.
Plasma, I wasn't able to share on Discord because the DPI. So I sent it to you on Instagram.
You sent it to me on Instagram. I do have the full one. Can I? Because I'm at my computer. Can I just use that?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
Okay. Well, let's.
But
This cover
also,
is
you
this.
feel like you... Oh, sorry.
This cover is so cool. It's so cool. I love it so much.
Plasma, you said you came up with the villains first, and I don't like anyone who wants to like do this seriously. I don't think that's a problem. I think a lot of people, when they want to make a story, from because I also give tips on writing characters as well, specifically characters, and I've always advised like your characters always have to relate to the story, and seeing that you've done that with all your villains, I don't think that's a bad thing as long as someone makes they can.
I think we lost
Then
Morgan.
goes into the character or the
Mm.
story. I think it's much better.
I agree.
I agree. I agree with that. I also believe that as someone who did say that, I can stick with what I said, if just for the fact that I had a good amount of villains when I was a teenager, when I was drawing them in my math notebook instead of doing math homework. A lot of them had to be scrapped. I'm lucky that the main villain was able to be recontextualized. Hold on, like I think we're good. I don't remember, Caden. Did we like the one with my name on the bottom or on the top? So I have the one on the top.
We went with it on the top.
On the top. Okay, so I'm gonna add this in. Thank you for bearing with me here. So I just put it in present. Hopefully that should come up.
That looks awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Ralph, do you have the link to the Kickstarter? Not that I'm putting my nasal voice
Oh
in.
no, they don't have the link yet. But they need to tell us when it starts. So when is it going to start so people know
start
when
tomorrow.
When
Are you not listening? What's the problem?
No. They need to say exactly what time they're starting this.
I want to follow it. Can you put the link in or what? No?
No, they don't have a link yet.
They don't have a link yet. Okay.
So what time are you guys starting this tomorrow so people know when to be ready?
I'm going to Morgan and I are going to talk, and it will probably be sometime before 1 p.m. CST.
So they need to make sure to keep an eye on your Instagrams.
Absolutely. And our biggest, like, we have a Discord server of over like almost 200 people now who are interested in what we're doing. So like they always get like the first the first serving of what's going on.
Yeah,
So if you're on the Discord, you'll get this before anybody else.
we really encourage people joining the Discord.
Do we have the link for the Discord?
Yeah, we can absolutely get that in there. Hold on.
All
one
right, cool.
second.
Let me have it and I'll share it.
Yeah, because you can't search for anything in Discord. I know that, so you got to know where the link is. That'd be great.
Absolutely. Just 1 second and I'll get you in here.
No problem. The excitement in this group of people. You guys are beautiful out there. Love a good audience.
Yeah, I tell you, you can't like there is no you don't find them this passionate about what we do. It's incredible to me.
It is. It's amazing. Like we was telling you in the green room, it's always good when you can have a following like this before you have all your stuff out, because that means that these guys will be hungry and you guys will be giving to them what they want. Yeah, see, we love comics.
We love comics.
It's not so it gave me the ability to send in links earlier whenever we were in the green room. It's not currently giving me the ability to.
Interesting.
Send me the link. I believe I can try.
All right, yeah, I'll send it to good old Plasma.
Thank you. Did you have any questions for me about like the comic itself? Because I'm happy to discuss anything about that.
Well, I feel like you're answering your own question. If you feel like the audience needs to know, then you should tell the audience.
Well, Voltage is a superhero, and he has a big lightning bolt on his chest, and he does some stuff in this comic book, and I think that's pretty cool. You should probably consider buying it. That'd be really nice. He's kind of like Superman if he was blue. I guess less blue if you think about it.
Well, remember, Superman was blue at one time, and he had lightning powers.
He did. That was an inspiration in my mind going into it when I was a teenager, when I initially conceptualized this character.
Yeah, I remember there was like Superman blue and Superman red.
I like Superman blue and red. I don't know. I thought that's a cool concept.
I love that era.
Yeah.
So many people were bitching and complaining about it.
It's really funny, yeah.
I bought it anyway. Doesn't matter.
That's why you were like talking about the deconstruction thing of superheroes. Like, why would you want to deconstruct superheroes? They're so silly. They're inherently silly and campy, and that's so fun. As a Green Lantern fan, it's something that like I really hate looking at some recent Green Lantern stuff.
Yeah, no, like something that so Dr. X is one of our upcomings. The entire script's finished. All the pencils are done. It's in the final stage of its inking and coloring, lettering, all that stuff. Something, because I wrote that book by myself, something that I really approached with it was this idea of, I want this to feel like a modern look at picking up a character's first ever issue.
Right.
Because I love an origin story as much as the next guy, right? I love it. It's very superhero-y. But there is nothing like your first issue of Batman where it throws you into this world and it's like you get, half a page maybe explaining Bruce Wayne as a character. And it's just seeing
how it used to be.
Exactly. And it's like, so something I very much with Dr. X was like, you might see him without his mask one time in this entire, 35-page book. And it's like, even then it's like engulfed in chat. You're just with the superhero in the book. Like there is, And so obviously, yeah, I'll touch on his storyline and his like origins and stuff like that. But there's something special about a first issue for a character,
Yeah.
just giving you this world unapologetically. There is no like no preliminary or pre-reading, because all your big names didn't start with a long origin story because they had to gain popularity before they got any sort of ability to hold a series. Spider-Man with Amazing Fantasy, he didn't get a whole volume to explain his origin story until after he got everyone interested with Amazing Fantasy, that random issue of Amazing Fantasy.
But
Which
that's how you
I
be
think
like
is
them. You used to
really
start a
poetic.
series. Go ahead, Morgan.
Oh, I think it's really poetic that like our two mainline characters, they both start in two opposite ways. Like Caden said, like Dr. X, you get like a short little origin or like very little because that's how like old comics were. But then like with Black Gravity, um, you get the most of the issue is just Morrow, the main character, just living as a normal person, and then at the end they get powers, and then you get to see
Yeah.
how their reaction is in the rest of the series.
Yeah, and like a basis of what Cataclysm is like we formed it going, okay, people are looking for different things in comic books. Some people are looking for this slice of life with a little bit of cape shit. And sorry, pardon my language. Uh
You're the first one
We
to do
cursed
it.
ages ago. Actually, the comment section cursed way before any of us.
Because they're naughty. Voltage fans, they I don't know. I love all my Voltage fans,
Voltage
but
fans
they
are
are
something else.
animals. I I mean it's my fault. I cultivated this and that's okay. We love you for it.
but like
Like you know it.
we started this with the intention of going, okay, some people want to look at this, world of capes with a little bit of explanation, and some people want, the next episode of, your favorite slice of life with some superhero content in there. And so we have both. It's why people should read our books, is because we have something for every fan of the superhero genre,
Mm-hmm.
except for the overly edgy slop. We don't have that. But
We mostly make fun of that stuff actually.
All right, so everybody needs to find you guys, especially because the Kickstarter kicks off tomorrow. Where can they find you guys? Give them the information so that they can go looking for you.
definitely stay active over on our Twitter, which I shared, the Clism Comics official. Um, do you have the Discord? I think it was shared in the chat.
Yeah, I shared it
With
in the chat because
Okay,
it
cool.
won't pop up on this computer for me. It'll only tell me that I need to start an account.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
No, it makes sense because I don't have an account on this computer.
I gotcha. So definitely join the Discord. That's like the number one way to like. We are so active there. Whether we're talking comic books or we're playing games with each other, like it is the best way to stay active with Cataclysm Comics altogether. We have our Instagram. We have our TikTok, which is Cataclysm Comics.
Oh,
Like
Oh,
Yep.
there you go.
we've been
there we
able
go.
to,
There we
we've
go.
been able to we've been able to keep it with our domain names, and so you can find all upcoming information at cataclysmcomics.com. Um,
But we are
uh,
we are mostly active in our Discord. Like we answer questions there all the time.
yeah, like someone just said in the chat, Cataclysm Discord is the best comic book space ever. We love talking with our community in there about just
We
random
put these
stuff.
Yeah, we go in like public VCs a lot. That's like the number one way to like cultivate a community a lot of the time.
Absolutely, we do have a YouTube account. Let me double check that we have the right name. Um, Actually, I think I can. Hold on.
Oh
I
yeah,
bet you.
that is. That is where the Black Rabbit soundtrack. I did make a soundtrack for the comic.
Oh, dang, I
That
like
is
that.
there. Well, I actually I commissioned a friend to do it, but there is a official soundtrack that not many people know about.
I always like reading my comics with some good music.
You really
Good
get the
music
sense
makes
of
comics better.
all my inspirations in that soundtrack, such as Green Lantern, a lot of Power Rangers. Like Black Rowdy's the main theme is very Power Rangers like.
It was the guy who drew Chairman.
I commented from the Cataclysm Comics YouTube account. So that's that's another way to keep up to date with what we're doing. We are
Right.
currently publishing through Global Comics, which you already have pulled up. We have book 1 of Black Gravity up there on Global Comics. We have a little, like, it's a free to read prequel comic, which is a part of a larger upcoming, like, just series of small comics in the Black Gravity like space, called Small Orbits, and you can kind of get some, preliminary information about the book that you're reading through this, like, beautiful sci-fi, like, I don't know, it's incredible art from Morgan. I tell you guys, as a writer, and I dabble in character design, but not very well. As a writer, I am so impressed with the people we have on our team. They do such incredible work.
Of course, there's the
And just
Instagram.
to say, like with Small Orbits, even though it's like a complementary series, you don't have to read it. It's always just like if you want a little more information on like what is happening, that is where you would go.
Hey, who's that blue guy on the top image there? Who's that?
Oh, that's
Who's that blue guy?
That comic looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Voltage.
Wow, look at that. Do you know what you guys are publishing? Voltage. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's very
That is
impressive.
crazy.
Speaking of Voltage, here's some reasons why you guys should pledge tomorrow whenever it's up. And why? So 1, digital PDF. 2, prints. 3, sticker sheets. Okay.
We have stickers. We have sticker sheets. Yes.
Woo, stickers.
We have stickers designed by Plasma himself, that are really cool that I can't show you guys yet because it's a surprise. And because if you pledge, it becomes 100% more likely that we get more Voltage content.
And we like to say that here on the show. It's when you're supporting a book, you're supporting more books from that creator.
Absolutely. And I basically, my plan for this pledge stuff is I'm just going to keep telling Plasma to make you guys really cool content for pledging, and you guys are going to pledge more, and then we're going to get really cool more content. It's a infinite loop.
Please, I'm on my hands and knees begging, please, oh please. I got tears in my eyes. I do have very big plans for Voltage, because I'm doing the thing that is the biggest trap for anyone who makes Cape Comics. I have 100 issues in my mind plus of like all these arcs and all these stories. I'm like so excited to get that going, get that started. I have Voltage #1 in the works, so we are moving forward on that. It is funny how I would say it's a little different from the one shot, although it is, again, it's all one kind of presentation. So like for me, when I create, I to kind of get into my methodology here, I want to kind of blend the positives of a lot of influences that I enjoy, Western and Eastern comic artists, kind of like blending and marrying these kinds of something that feels a little old school, because I've gotten a lot of compliments that it feels very 90s Image or
You can
like
feel that.
Valiant.
Like, that's what I was already saying, that you have this superhero feel to it, and it's that 90s superhero feel.
Thank you. Also marrying like the kind of energy and kinetic like posing and all that from like mangaka, as well as like contemporary artists like Daniel Warren Johnson, who's a big inspiration. I could list all these artists that I love, but I try to marry like very older kind of school artists like Frank Miller or John Romita Jr. and Sr., John Buscema. You have all like those kinds of artists, and then you have like new characters or new artists in the working field right now. I love taking inspiration from people and kind of rolling it into my execution. And with that in mind, I want to take a kind of a Voltage. The main book will be very much a about reflection. It's very thoughtful about being in one's thoughts. So big inspiration for what you might expect. I'm a huge fan of Brian Michael Bendis's Ultimate Spider-Man. So there's a lot of that in there. Because I did a comic, it's on my Twitter, which by the way is at Plasma Giant Art, if you wanted to go support me there. It was called, in the end of the day, it was called The Lesson, that I had named it. And it's a great kind of showcase of what I'm trying to go for, which is when I have action, I love heavy movement, big, bold poses, motion lines, very like energetic and weighty action that makes you feel it. Don't even bother looking it up in there. It's so buried with memes. I'm very bad with that. Like,
I'm just throwing them where they can go.
Yes, please,
I'm not going to help them out.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a little fun treat for all the fans who got to work for it. But when you do short, like small, like commerce stuff, I love very like anxious, almost like stage play, like realism in the characters. So this book is going to be very much a reflection of Sal Vasquez and how he deals with being a superhero in what is ostensibly the real world. And I would like to explore how the real world would change or stay the same in some ways, and how they would push back against this revolutionary with love and with hope. In a way that feels very timeless, I would say. It's very much in conversation with what I like out of Superman stuff. Right. Also, like Sal is a very interesting character to me because I designed him in a way where he's very much he's a Clark Kent kind of character, but he isn't like Clark Kent. You know, he's very much like a real guy who loves superhero comics. So he is someone who has taken in his whole life the lessons and the kind of mentality from superheroism from comics that he reads. Like so us. There's like what's that?
He's like us.
Yo, yes, yeah, but most certainly, because that's the pitch. I would say that's the pitch. My pitch is, what if you are someone out there that is, you know, going through life, doing your best. You're a little bit of a flawed guy because everyone's flawed, but you're doing your best. But you love Superman, you love comic books, you kind of like have that inside of you. And what if you woke up as Superman? Like in real life. I know it's like this is a premise that I feel like a lot of books do, of like, what if superheroes were real in the real world? This is very much like not a pastiche of life. This is not me taking my grievances out on the world. This is very much a natural exploration of, if you woke up as Superman, how does your life change? Are you ready to be Superman for the world? Is the world ready for a Superman? and all the stuff that would come with that.
Oh, good question.
And I'm trying to handle this with a certain naturalism, but also it's the changing out of the guards, if you will. It's the old world holding on, especially my desire to tell the story has only deepened with the state of the world right now, with the state of our culture and the economy and how everything is very tense.
Right.
I want to tell this story about the kind of systems at play that keep us where we are, and a man getting the power to disengage from it. And where a lot of people, I would say, for better or for worse, maybe not maliciously doing it, would pull the ladder up. If you're able to be Superman and remove yourself from that, Sal is not pulling the ladder up, and he's trying to make positive change, like real change, and learning that you can't punch your way to a new world, and there's a lot of stuff that has to come with that. And I'm very excited to tell that story.
JJ's like, I love Voltage, but I'm also getting tired, so I gotta go.
I understand. I appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah. I want to say, because I know it's getting late for everybody. Just to kind of wrap up on our side, because I don't want to hold you guys here for too much longer. I want to say, first and foremost, thank you so much for having us, for for helping platform us. This has been wonderful, and I think I speak for everybody here on the team that we would love to come on again at some point.
Well, I was already hoping that you would come back on, because I want you to come on while the Kickstarter is going.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we definitely will take you up on that offer. And I want to tell everybody who is in here, who is here for us, I want you guys, all of you, to go to your YouTube. I want you to type in Bitten Apple TV, and I want you guys to make sure you subscribe with your notifications on, because we know if you have those notifications on, and if you don't, you won't get your copy of Voltage. It's the sad truth. It's a sad truth, but it's a truth indeed. And I want to tell you guys, if you guys enjoyed what we talked about here today, be ready for more, because Cataclysm we're pushing that boulder up the hill, and we're not going to stop anytime soon. So whether it be for Black Gravity, or whether it be for Dr. X, or whether it be for Voltage or Terra Nova or the Unstoppable Comet, we can go all day. We have such love for this genre. We have such love for you guys. And in the end, we just hope that we are able to deliver something up to your guys' expectations.
Folks, these guys are great geeks. I love the geek out that we had. We went into a big geek out in the middle there, but we always come back around. One more thing on our side. Paul, why don't you tell them who you are, what you do? Give them all the good stuff. Go for it.
Thanks, Raphael. So I'm Paul Hebert. I'm the creator and founder of Time Enforcers, which is a video game, role-playing, digital comic, and just a learning experience that makes learning history fun. Came out of COVID, what some of my kids and the educators were going through, and I thought there's got to be a better way to make education fun virtually. So it's funny, I was listening to the conversation and how you start off with issue 0 on your book. Well, unfortunately, I'm starting off with issue 2. Issue 1 is actually a digital comic that came about in the video game. And as I was starting to work through episode 2 of the game now, I realized I had to animate everything. So that's what drew me to make this comic book for issue 2. So issue 2, Flying into the Crown of Storm, is actually going to be a Kickstarter launching on July 13th. I'm very excited about it. I actually have the preview copy done. This will be for sale at Garden State Comic Fest coming up the weekend after next. And it's also available at a few outlets. So we have right now at Dewey's Comic City in Madison, New Jersey. And then I also have it at, it'll probably be at Funny Books in Parsippany, New Jersey. So looking to get this out there. We have a Kickstarter pre-launch set up. that will allow you to get a free copy of that digital copy of the book, so you don't have to pay for it. And then we also offer a pledge tier for $5. You can get these really cool dossier cards. So I actually have 2 dossier cards that'll be offered along for the Kickstarter pre-launch if you sign up. And then there's going to be some cool stuff in this as well. I just don't give one thing. I give multiple things. So if you get a pack of these cards, there'll be I'll give it away. There's going to be a holographic sticker in it, and there's also going to be another card thanking for joining the pledge. So I'm excited about that. We actually have a bunch of swag that we've developed. We got a bunch of pins for the characters that we have set up through the game, and then I have these really cool. I'm renaming them from Blip Chip Ralph. I'm sorry, they're going to be called Chrono Flips. So I have
like that.
yeah, Chrono Flips. So I have the Inquisitor who is in the game. She actually poses the questions to the players, and they have to figure out what the answers are. And then Chronolith, who's the evil dude, so he's actually going to try and take over all matter of time, space, and reality. So Time and Forces is really meant to be a way to introduce kids, or whoever, adults as well, to history. I'm trying to find people from the past that we may not well know about them too well, and it's often that opportunity to learn something more about things we may not know about. And that's what I love about this whole project, is doing the research, finding out who these people were, and then bringing it into a game where it's a game and a comic actually that's going to be fun. And it's meant to distort reality, distort time, but have some fun along as we go along the way. So it's been a passion of mine to get this going. I started it in 2020. The game episode 1 is available in the App Store. So if you have a Mac, PC, Android, or iOS, you can play it for a couple bucks. I like it. I have fun with it. And episode 2 is actually looking really, really cool. Kick ass. Sorry, we always swore already, so I can do it now. And so it's actually, you'd be flying Amelia Earhart's plane in a Galaga experience. And so I'm really anxious to get back to that. But I got a couple projects to get out of the way first. One is this comic book for episode 2. And the second is going to be a tabletop role-playing game that I'll be doing a Kickstarter for that as well in the fall. So having a blast. I wish I had a company like you, Caden, because I got so many ideas and no talent to for me. That's the problem. But I'm having a great time doing it. So it's really a lot of fun. If you could support the Kickstarter, I would greatly appreciate it. Trying to get on board just to make this goal pledge easy, so I don't have to worry about marketing during the campaign. I really want to focus on other things, and that'd be really cool. So
Yeah, I just want to say,
We love comics.
everyone in here who I was telling that you have to pledge to Voltage, you also, unfortunately or fortunately for us, you do have to pledge to this one too. It's sad reality, but otherwise no content. I'm sorry. Like you have to pledge this content. It looks incredible. Make sure you guys show love to these 2 incredible creators. Thank you guys again so much for having us on. And I know that I will definitely be sharing this Kickstarter with some people.
Awesome.
Me as well. Yeah.
I greatly appreciate that. This is a passion project of mine. I love it. I think, ultimately it's to make a education framework for schools. And I'm in the process of doing that now. I have it scaled out, but it's going to be available for 5th to 10th graders. It's really bringing back the basics learning. It's not just AI. It's not just tech. It's actually getting kids to do journaling on a daily basis, do research, and then pull that research together, come together as a group and collaborate and do a presentation. And it's done in a gamified way where it makes it fun and interesting for the kids to do it, as opposed to like learning boring dates that don't mean anything to anybody, and just having an experience where they actually have a good time learning while they're doing it. So that's really the ultimate goal, is to get this out there and then really make this an education platform for students, which is what I'm ultimately looking to do. So
That's so cool.
thanks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the comic is actually based on Universal Design for Learning. It's called UDL, and my wife, who's works with kids with disabilities at Fairleigh Dickinson University, she is my education consultant. We're working together to make sure that we make this as inclusive and diverse as possible for kids. Ultimately, I like to see this translated in different languages, because I'm by myself, I can only do so much, but I can see a Spanish, I can see, a French, easily different versions that could, really bridge the gap between cultures, because ultimately this is really what it's all about, is understanding the cultures where people come from, breaking down the ignorances and bigotry, and realizing that everyone's different. It's okay to celebrate our differences and realize that it's okay. Just, live life and have fun. And that's really the ultimate goal of this project. So
Have fun, folks. and And of course, I wanted to bring this up because Father's Day is Sunday. This would make a great Father's Day gift for a lot of people. This is a great book. I've read the whole series already because I got a preview of the whole thing. I'm just going to play the video and let it talk for itself.
Oh, cool. Phil made his goal. That's awesome.
Meet Bruce Rogers, a 75-year-old Vietnam veteran who's spending his twilight years living with his son, daughter-in-law, and 12-year-old granddaughter, Melody. Bruce and his son have a strange relationship that has never been resolved. Melody is the light of Bruce's life, as they've formed a bond that never grew between him and his son, Craig. When a threat to Bruce's family arises, this old man must decide what he's willing to do in order to keep his family safe. What would you do? What would you sacrifice for the sake of your family?
Yeah, Phil is a great guy. This is a great book. It looks like he reached the goal, which I'm happy that he actually did.
That's awesome.
Because this book needs to happen. He actually made this book for his father with the hope of getting it to his father before his father died of cancer, but he wasn't able to do that. So now he's trying to get it finished so he can get it done. You know, so this has become a passion project for him, and he just wants to.
Issue 1 is amazing. It's really a great book. I can testify to that, and I can't wait for issue 2. So it's awesome.
You guys are incredible. It's so cool to be like next to you guys, talking with you guys about this. Like that looked incredible. That's all I could have to say.
Dude, it has a great like if you pick up the first issue, there's a great ending that I'm not going to spoil. So
No,
pick up the first issue.
If you do, I will shoot you.
I got one more thing to show to you guys because these guys are great. They're doing really well, by the way. If you like your role-playing games and you've always wanted to have a way to like either get your kids involved or a good way just to ease into it, because I know sometimes D&D can be scary for some people. But these guys have made it so this is a great beginner's guide to D&D. Especially for kids, but it's for everybody. I'm just gonna play the video and let them talk.
Step into the kingdom of Abalian and begin your family's first great Dungeons and Dragons adventure. Become great heroes, explore forgotten ruins, uncover ancient mysteries, meet strange and lovable creatures, and battle fearsome monsters. Secrets of Enderil is a learn-as-you-go RPG created for parents, kids, and curious first-time players who want to create a shared storytelling experience. The adventure unfolds naturally as you play, with only a few pages of reading to get you started. Even new players and game masters can easily focus on roleplay, curiosity, and exploration, instead of getting lost in endless rules. We'll introduce you to core game mechanics organically through the adventure itself, so you never lose your immersion in the story. Your players will take on exciting challenges and learn about making meaningful choices with real stakes. We've carefully balanced this with a fail-forward style of play that rewards creativity instead of punishing mistakes or unlucky rolls. And by the time your first adventure comes to an end, it feels like the beginning of many more stories still waiting to be told. Together. Gather your party. Your story starts now. The Adventure Guide. Secrets of Enderil.
Adventurers, you know your quest. Go do it. We're gonna have them on the show soon to talk all about the beautiful stuff, because I want to dive really deep into this, because one of my favorite things is to get new people playing D&D, because I feel like D&D is an amazing experience, and it's also great therapy.
I'm a DM. I understand.
Oh, definitely. So I'm a DM as well. And one of my favorite things is always that people go, I'm playing this character, but this character is nothing like me.
Oh, I have to beg people, please do that. Please. That's what I'm looking for.
It always bugs me out when they say, this character is nothing like me. You're sitting there going, okay, yeah, sure. Folks, you know that we love to talk D&D and role-playing, and we like to talk all the geek stuff here. Just join us. Sooner or later, we'll hit one of your geeks that you like. We'll scratch that itch. And these guys here, we will be sharing the Kickstarter as soon as it goes live tomorrow to make sure that you guys all see it as it's happening. So, we're going to keep you informed because that's what we do here. Of course, we will be at Garden State Comic Fest 2 weeks from now. And next week, we'll be having a couple of the guys who will be at Garden State Comic Fest on the show. They'll be here on Monday and they'll be here on Wednesday to show off what they're doing for Garden State Comic Fest, as well as our pal Paul right here. Any last words before we go, guys?
Much love again for giving us this opportunity, and we're excited to be able to say that we can hopefully do this again with you guys in the future.
Oh, definitely.
I want to say I really, really enjoyed my experience here on this podcast. I think you two are really great company to keep, and I would enjoy doing this podcast again in the future if we got more things to talk about. And I want to say thank you to all of my friends and fans out there in the chat, the Do Good Gang, and the frauds creators, and all of my friends. Also, you mentioned Father's Day's coming up. I wanted to say that the book is in memoriam to my father. There is some stuff going on there with that in the story that I think is very fair and appropriate that it's coming out the week of Father's Day. So I can't wait for people to get a hold of it and read it. And again, thank you so much.
It's funny because you didn't do that on purpose, but here it is, Father's Day, and it's happening. I love how life is like that.
It is beautiful, and I love coincidences like that. So I'd like to think it's my dad getting ready to read the book himself too. So I'm very excited. Again, to have people read it and enjoy it, and that's what it's all about. And I love comics, and I love all of you guys right now. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Morgan?
I don't really have any final words. I gotta say, like, I love the community for turning out, even if their voltage stands. We love them. We love them so much. We love the support. I don't know what else to say other than what Plasma said.
I don't know. You guys were great. You guys gave all the information. We'll have you back on the show, especially once the Kickstarter gets going so that we can spread the word. One last thing on my part, it's funny that you guys were talking about all this stuff today, because I had just finished writing a little piece for Vocal on unfinished pieces, on the fact that we start things and sometimes they don't get finished, but it doesn't mean that you don't just leave them there and they stay there. It just means that this is the journey of this piece of work that needs to happen in order for it to get finished. So if you guys want to check out my writing and what I think about a bunch of things, go to my Vocal and check this out. I'm pretty proud of this piece right here.
Absolutely, I will.
Oh, definitely. I appreciate that. With that, I think I will do what I always do on the show. I will press the button and where it stops,